Starting with the acute leukemia, in the previous lecture we studied about the classification part. Now we are discussing today about the acute leukemia and this acute lymphoblastic leukemia. So both leukemia, whether it is acute lymphoblastic leukemia or acute myeloblastic leukemia, the cut-off criteria for WHO and FAB classification has been decided. That is, according to the WHO classification, cut-off criteria is 20%, and according to the FAB classification, the cut-off criteria for the blast is 30%. Now, first of all, in acute lymphoblastic leukemia, classification is of two types according to the WHO classification and the FAB classification. There are two types of classifications are there: WHO classification and FAB classification. The WHO classification we studied in our previous class. These are the two types: precursor lymphoblastic leukemia oblique lymphoma, and the other one being the peripheral lymphoma, or we can say it as a mature lymphoma. Now, in precursor lymphoblastic leukemia oblique lymphoma, there are two things: B cell lineage as well as T cell lineage. That is B lymphoblastic leukemia lymphoma and the T lymphoblastic leukemia lymphoma. And the B lymphoblastic leukemia has got further subdivision, that is not otherwise specified. B lymphoblastic leukemia lymphoma not otherwise specified and associated with the genetic abnormality. So this is our ALL part in acute lymphoblastic, because precursor is, that is acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and this is chronic because in the peripheral comes the CLL. More to be specified, B cell will be of the CLL. Now we are concerning more about the WHO classification of ALL. So WHO classification is coming in ALL is coming under this precursor lymphoblastic leukemia lymphoma. This has got further subtype BT, and B has further sub-entity is not otherwise specified and the associated with the genetic abnormality. We have to learn the genetic abnormality also. What are the translocation like? There are certain translocation like 1221 translocation, 922 translocation, 514 translocations. These are associated with the hyperdiploidy, means on the basis of the diploidy status, hypodiploidy, 119. All these are the translocations are there in the genetic B lymphoblastic leukemia lymphoma associated with the genetic abnormality. Why they are important? These are important to diagnose the disease, which specific type of ALL it is, and what is the treatment specific for it is. And by this we can know the prognosis. We can judge the prognosis also, because 1221 has got very good prognosis, hyperdiploidy has good prognosis, while this has got bad prognosis. So this is all about the WHO classification. Now coming to the FAB classification. According to the FAB classification, lymphoblastic this ALL has got L1, L2 and L3 type. Here also I am telling about this L1. What is this L1? Some morphology I am describing here also. L1, L2 and L3. So these are on the basis of the morphology they are divided. Morphology as well as some prognosis wise, some cytochemical stain wise, NC ratio wise they are divided. What is the morphology wise? NC ratio is highest in L1, NC ratio is high, and NC ratio is mild high. So highest NC ratio is there in L1. NC ratio means there is less cytoplasm will be there. There is a less cytoplasm. While here the cytoplasm is abundant, and here the NC ratio is again high. The cytoplasm is there, but it is bit greater than the L1. So this is high NC ratio. Then coming to the nucleus status. The nucleus is more coarse and coarse. Nucleus character is there. Here the nucleus is open up. Open up nucleus means we can see through and through this nucleus. It is not condensed. And here the nucleus is of stipple. What does stipple means? It just somebody has sprinkled the salt and pepper over it. Means granular chromatin is there. So what is stippled chromatin? Stippled chromatin is important for this. The other important thing in the cytoplasm is there is a cytoplasmic vacuoles are there. cytoplasmic vectors are there. And other important thing is L1 has got homogeneous cells. Means if there are other blasts are there, so all cells are of same size. So the homogeneous nature of the L1 is there, while L2 is heterogeneous nature is there. And on the basis of cytochemical stain, L1 has got PAS positive and the ALL has got block positivity by the PAS. So PAS is cytochemical stain and the PAS will be positive by L1, but L2 and L3 are not PAS positive. And prognosis wise, prognosis of L1 is good, while they had got worse prognosis in case of the L3. Now L1 and L2 of the CAT classification resemble with this B and C, while this L3 resemble with the Burkitt lymphoma. So this is all about the classification part of the ALL. Now coming to the, before moving on into the detail, I will tell you the maturation step of the lymphocyte. What are the different cells coming in the maturation? So maturation wise, first cell is lymphoblast, then come the prolymphocyte, then come the lymphocyte. So three cells are there in the maturation state. What happens in the ALL? In ALL, these lymphoblasts are directly coming into the PBF, peripheral blood. So more and more lymphoblasts will be there. This is all about this maturation part, and in this the more high NC ratio will be there. The size is, cells of the size is greater. Now this is up to 10 micron, this is up to 11 micron, the size also varies. Now the classification we covered. Now coming to the etiopathogenesis, both leukemia, whether AML as well as ALL. Now I am taking the etiopathogenesis together. The etiopathogenesis is mnemonic, I told you in the previous class also, MAGICD. That is chemical. Certain chemical can lead to the leukemia. Certain drugs, that is nitrogens, mustard. Now ionizing radiations, germline mutations like genetic association like Down syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, acquired like PNH, aplastic anemia, and megaloblastic MDSS. Some leukemia arise de novo as well as some leukemia arise after the MDS. So this is about the etiopathogenesis part. Now coming to the how do we diagnose the leukemia? How do we diagnose for this? Morphology. In previous class also I told you briefly. Morphology, immunophenotype, morphology and cytochemistry. Now immunology, then coming the cytogenetic and the molecular genetic. By these modalities we can identify the leukemia. Now ALL by morphology. Here I am just telling the difference between the myeloblast and lymphoblast, and this comes the short note. Separate short note like difference between the myeloblast and lymphoblast. Second short note is difference between the ALL and AML. So I am covering your short note also here. Difference by morphology. What is difference between the lymphoblast and myeloblast? So here lymphoblast and here comes the myeloblast. Both have similarities, both having the high NC ratio. How do we know that there is a high size of the both of the cells are high? Size are larger because accompanying cells are the RBC or small lymphocytes are there, and they are 10 micron, and these cells, blast cells, are 3 to 4 times the cells of these small lymphocytes. So we can say these are the larger cells. Both myeloblast and lymphocytes has got larger shape. Now other thing is lymphoblast has coarser nucleus, means more condensed nucleus is there, more condensed, and here are open up. Compared to the lymphoblast, myeloblast has an open up chromatin. Now other thing is nucleoli are 1 to 2 while nucleoli are 3. The other thing is there may be OR rod may be there. These are the azurophilic granules, and where they accompany both or all, if they are coming close together, they will lead to the formation of the OR rod, and the cells of these type are called puppet cells. Okay? So in myeloblast there may be seen OR rod, but there is no no any type of granules will be there. So NC ratio by the nucleus chromatin material on the nucleoli basis of the nucleoli, we can difference between ALL and AML, means myeloblast and lymphoblast. Now other thing is by cytochemical stain we can judge also. It is a because the by pass cytochemistry and the what are the difference cytochemical stain to differentiate the lymphoblast and myeloblast are pass, MPO, Sudan black, acid phosphatase, all these are there. Pass positive and specifically block positivity. Block positivity will be there. Block positivity will be like this. In this format, the block positivity will be shown. If anybody is asking you which leukemia or which blast is pass positive, you have to say lymphoblast are positive. But some AML means myeloblast also show the pass positive. These are the M3, M5, M6 and M7. But the important thing is they are fine positivity. So in the cytoplasm, there are the fine positivity, while here the block positivity. Important word is block positivity. Other thing is MPO. The blast of myeloid series, myeloblasts are pass positive, while they are negative. Peroxidase activity, there is no peroxidase activity here, while there is a MPO positive. Sudan black and MPO go in hand, means wherever the MPO is positive, Sudan black will be positive. So MPO and Sudan black will be shown positivity by the myeloblast. The other thing is acid phosphatase. They will be positive in case of ALL, specifically T type of ALL. So this is all about the morphology and cytochemistry. By these means we can differentiate between the lymphoblast and myeloblast. Other thing is immunophenotyping. In immunophenotyping, the important thing is marker. What are the CD marker? The CD marker, the important, we have to differentiate between the T and B because they are. Why they are important to distinguish both of them? Because some MRD cases, minimal residual diseases are there to diagnose the MRD, to diagnose the therapy, whether our treatment is good, we are giving the right treatment or not. For this purpose, immunophenotyping is important. The marker for the B lineage are CD, cytoplasmic CD22, CD19, cytoplasmic CD79. These are the marker for the B lineage. While for the T lineage, CD2, CD3, cytoplasmic CD3, then CD1A, CD99. These are the marker for the T lineage. So by immunophenotyping we can differentiate. Now coming to cytogenetic and the molecular genetic. In this we are analyzing the chromosome, more hematological findings and the biochemical parameter in the case of ALL. So both clinical feature and hematological feature both go hand in hand. That is whatever the effect will be there in hematological finding, whatever the abnormality of the hematological finding will be there, will affect the will lead to that particular symptom. Like hematological finding, here clinical feature, and here I will describe the biochemical finding. Now in hematological part, we will discuss into like what will be the effect in the RBC lineage, what will be the effect in the WBC lineage, what will be the effect in the platelet, hemoglobin, and likewise. Like if RBC will be decreased and the hemoglobin will be decreased. So this, because of the reduction in the RBC and hemoglobin, the clinical feature will appear as a anemia, and there will be the fatigue, pallor. The presentation of the patient will be this. I am taking all these simultaneously so that you can learn properly. Because of these decreased RBC and the hemoglobin, both will lead to the anemia, fatigue, pallor will be there. Because of the high WBC, because more than 20,000 to 2 lakh WBC will there, and all will because of the increased blast. Means there is no increase in the neutrophil, no lymphocyte, no basophil. All is because of the blast cells. More and more blast, more than 90% will be the blast cells. So there will be neutropenia. But WBC is increasing because of the blast, but neutrophil and all the series will be decreasing. all the other lymphocytes will be decreasing, so there will be neutropenia, and because of this neutropenia will lead to the infection like bronchopneumonia, respiratory infection, whatever the infection is there, the patient will develop that infection because of the neutropenia and other decrease in the WBC series, not because of the blast. Increase of the WBC is because of the blast. Now coming to the platelet. Platelet are decrease. This will lead to the thrombocytopenia, and because of the thrombocytopenia, patient will develop the bleeding. Okay, hemorrhage. And this is all are the hematological finding and these are the clinical finding. And because of the increased WBC count, the other feature will be the patient will present with the hepatomegaly, splenomegaly, sternal mass and the bone pain. Why there will be the bone pain? Because these blast cells, there is an involvement by the periosteum. So this will lead to the bone pain. So hepatomegaly, splenomegaly, sternal and the bone pain will be there. Bleeding, infection, fatigue and the pallor and the anemia. All these are the... Now what happens to the biochemical parameter? The serum uric acid is increased. Uric acid is because of the high turnover of the cells, like more and more blasts will be there and the lysis of these blasts. Now other thing are the calcium level. Hypocalcemia will be there. Phosphate, increased phosphate will be there because of the lysis of the RBC. So all LDH, lactate dehydrogenase, will be increased. So these are the biochemical parameters. In CSF also we can find the blast. We are getting the CSF, cerebrospinal fluid, and if the cytospin that we can, and making the smear, we can find the blast cell in that CSF. So all these are the hematological clinical feature and the biochemical parameter will be there. So we covered the classification part, WHO FAB classification, then diagnosed by morphology, immunophenotyping, cytogenetic and molecular genetic, and these are the hematological clinical feature and biochemical parameter in the case of the ALL. Now coming to the acute myeloblastic leukemia, AML. Etiopathogenesis remains the same like our mnemonic MAGI-CD, MAGI-CD. Okay, in acute myeloblastic leukemia, the classification of WHO and FAB type. The important one is FAB type because I covered WHO classification, so we'll revise only the WHO classification and I will tell you in detail about the FAB classification. According to the FAB classification, AML is of this type: M0, M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, M6 and M7. M0 is acute myeloblastic leukemia without differentiation. Differentiation means there is no differentiation of the cell. So this is acute myeloblastic leukemia without differentiation. This is acute myeloblastic leukemia without maturation. The word maturation is important. Without maturation. Without maturation. Now coming to the acute myeloblastic leukemia with maturation. With maturations. Now this is promyelocytic leukemia. Promyelocytic leukemia. Now this M4 is myelomonocytic, both component, myelo as well as monocytic. So myelomonocytic leukemia. This M5 being the monocytic leukemia. M6 is erythroblastic leukemia, and M7 being the megakaryocytic leukemia. So this is all M0 to M7 part. That's why I was telling you when I was describing you the WHO classification. If this FAB classification is just like the WHO classification entity of AML and OS, not otherwise specified. The two things additionally are there in not otherwise specified are panmyelosis and acute basophilic leukemia. And one thing is not there is promyelocytic leukemia. Promyelocytic leukemia was not there in AML and OS. So this is all about the FAB classification. You have to learn M0 to M7. Now without differentiation, without maturation, with maturation. Now important thing, here only I will tell you about the cytochemistry part of this. These blasts, the blast by the M0, the AML which are of M0 type, the blast cell will show the MPO positivity. Or we know that all AML are showing the MPO positivity, but the important is the percentage of the blast. In M0, less than 3% of the cells, less than the 3% of the blast are MPO positive. While here, in the case of the M1, greater than 3% are the blast are MPO positive. Here, more than 80% cells are of the MPO positive are there. So this is all about the MPO part. Now, what happens the pass? I told you the when I was describing you the difference between the lymphoblast and myeloblast. Few myeloid series like M3, M5, M6 and M7 show the pass positivity, but they are fine pass positivity. In the cytoplasm, there will be fine pass positivity will be there. And the other thing is specific for the M4 and N5 is they are NSC, non-specific esterase is positive by M4 and M5, but it is also positive in M3. But the important thing between M3 NSC and M4 M5 NSC is this NSC is inhibited by the sodium fluoride in case of the M4 and M5, while in M3 it is not inhibited by sodium fluoride. This is inhibited because it is sensitive for the sodium fluoride. So the important thing is about the MPO. All are MPO positive, but the percentage of the blast is important. Less than 3, greater than 3. Other thing is pass positivity will be seen by M3, M5, M7 and M6. Other thing is M4 and M5 show the NSE positivity and they are sensitive by sodium fluoride, while M3 is not sensitive for the sodium fluoride. So this is all about the part. This is all about the cytochemistry as well as FAB classification. Now briefly I am telling you about the WHO classification. WHO classification is like AML with recurrent genetic abnormality, AML not otherwise specified, blastic plasmacytoid dendritic cell neoplasm, myeloid sarcoma, MDS related, therapy related, Down syndrome related, or the new entity being in recurrent genetic abnormality is of BCR-ABL. BCR-ABL entity is new and mutated RUNX1. These two things are added in 2016. So these are the new abnormality. New things are added in 2016 classification. Now coming to the maturation part. How does these cells mature from myeloblast to your pure mature cells? Like first series is myeloblast, then come the then come the promyelocyte, then come the promyelocyte, then comes the myelocyte. This is the maturation of this lineage. Myelocyte, myeloid lineage, myelocyte, metamyelocyte, then come the band, and then come the neutrophil. And these myelocytes can be of eosinophilic myelocyte, basophilic myelocyte, and granulocytic myelocyte. So what is the difference? These are in the bone marrow. Normally they are not up to myelocytes, they are not seen in the peripheral blood, but in the certain leukemia or some particular infections they can be seen in the. So we have to aware what are the steps in the formation. This is more primitive cells and they are the more mature cells. What is the difference? But in the so by the primitive cells you can think this will be of the more larger. It is of larger cells, but the largest cells of this series is promyelocyte because it is up to 25 micron. This is promyelocyte, or rod is seen in the promyelocyte. Now after the myelocyte, the secondary granules appear, and when the cells are going from just up to downstream, the nucleus become more condensed. There is a loss of nucleoli after the myelocyte. That is the loss of nucleoli. Means by electron microscopy only we can see the nucleoli in myelocyte. After that there will be no nucleoli. Nucleus is more open up here, condenser here, nucleoli will be there. Secondary granule appear after this stage. This is the maturation step. Now coming to the hematological finding, clinical features and the biochemical parameters in the case of AML. what happens in hematological finding? In hemat, what happens in clinical picture and the biochemical parameter, biochemistry part. So because of the decreased hemoglobin and decreased RBC, the presentation will be, because of this finding, presentation will be anemia, fatigue, patient will be pallor, fatigueness will be there. Now, because of more and more blast will be there, so presentation will be the lymphadenopathy, splenomegaly, sternal tenderness, bone pain will be there, and even the CNS involvement will be there, and the cranial nerve palsy presentation can be of the cranial nerve palsy. So because of these things, the cranial nerve palsy, CNS involvement will be there in the terms of the headache, palsy, and the other thing is because of the blast, splenomegaly, hepatomegaly, bone pain, sternal tenderness, and the gum hypertrophy. Gum hypertrophy also there because of the involvement by in the gum, and the skin infiltration can infiltrate into the skin also. So skin infiltration will be there. So these can be the clinical picture via this blast. And the other thing is because of the decreased platelet. Decreased platelet will lead to the thrombocytopenia, and thrombocytopenia will lead to the bleeding tendency. So bleeding tendency specifically, more precise it is seen in M3, that is promyelocytic leukemia. So the patient presentation of will be the menorrhagia, DIC, this intravascular coagulation. The presentation will be like. Now coming to the biochemical picture. These are the hematological picture. Because of this hematological picture, these will clinical picture appear. And what are the biochemical picture? Increased lysozyme, increased uric acid level because of the turnover of the cell will be increased, and the FTP and the fibrinogen decrease. Specifically in the case of the, because they will act like a tissue factor, and specifically seen in the M3 variety of the leukemia. Now coming to what are the good prognosis, what is the bad prognosis? All will be depend on the cytogenetic. What is the cytogenetic, and what is the type of AML it is like. There are sub classification of AML also, like M3 has got, because there are M0, M1, M2, M3, M4, M5 and M6 and M7. So M3 has got M3B, that is hypergranular and hypogranular, means more and more granular and less granular. So this is of two types. M4 has got M4 and M4E0, means in E0 variety there is a associated with the eosinophilia. M5 has got three types: M5A, M5B, M5C. It is rarely seen when histiocytes are spillover. M5A and M5B. M5B is because it is myelomonocytic. This is monocytic. So in M5A completely monoblast, means monoblast will be there, and they are more than 80%. In M5B, monoblast as well as promonocyte both will constitute the greater than 20% or less than 80. Means more than 20 but should be less than 20% blast, but together constitute monoblast as well as promonocyte. And M56 is rare. Now coming to the M6A and M6B. This is pure erythroid leukemia. This is erythroblastic leukemia. In M6A, the erythroblasts are more than 50% of the nucleated cells, and the blasts are more than 20. In M6B, more than 30% erythroblasts, pro-erythroblast blast are there. Now in M7, megakaryoblast, these are more than 20%. So this is all about the detail. What are the sub-classification of this AML? Now I covered the hematological clinical picture classification part. Now coming to the good prognosis and bad prognosis. Good prognosis factor are if it is there should be no complex karyotype. If it is a complex karyotype, it is associated with the bad prognosis. Now, M4, M2 and M3, this has got good prognosis. And what are the cytogenetic in this? M2 is translocation 811. So translocation 811 has good prognosis. M4 is inversion 16. So inversion 16 has got good prognosis. And translocation 1517, that is PML, RA. These has got good prognosis. And the count should be less than 25,000. Obviously, when the count is less, the prognosis will be good, and more blasts and more WBC will be there. It is associated with the bad prognosis. Now, these are the good prognosis. Now, bad prognosis is deletion. Bad prognosis is deletion 5q, deletion 7q, complex karyotype, and the other remaining are like M1, M6, and 7. These has got poor prognosis. So this is all about the AML. I don't want that anything should be left in your leukemia, so I am revising the thing by my PPT. So this was definition of the leukemia, then the cutoff criteria of AML and ALL. This is all etiopathogenesis. I covered all these things, so nothing is left. Now the important thing, your short note comes on the lymphoblast and myeloblast. So these are the differences between the lymphoblast and myeloblast by the morphology. These three things are the difference by the morphology: nucleochromatin, nucleolide, MC ratio. So by these three things we can differentiate between the lymphoblast and myeloblast. And these are the cytochemical stains. So by these cytochemical stains we can differentiate between the lymphoblast and myeloblast. I covered all these things. So again, this is in detail about the cytochemical stains to differentiate between AML and ALL. Now these are the immunophenotyping. For the B lineage, CD19, cytoplasmic CD22, 79, CD10 are specific, and for the T lineage, CD3 to 7, and specific whether to determine these are of myelo lineage or not, we have to perform only CD13 and 33. And second panel we can specify if we want to know that this is M4 to CD14 and 64, and if we want to know whether it is M6, then we will do the second panel of glycophorin, and for the megakaryocytic series we will perform the CD41 and CD61. Now, so this is flat classification of ALL, L1, L2 and L3. Now this is WHO classification 2008 and WHO classification 2016. The last one being the latest. These two things are added in 2016. Now this is the photomicrograph of lymphoblast. Very well seen. These are the 2 to 3 or up to 4 times the size of the RBC. This is RBC. You can see these are the 3 to 4 times the size of the RBC. So having the high NC ratio, these are the two nucleoli. These are the two nucleoli. Now this is difference between the L1, L2, L3. The worst one is L3, and having the good prognosis being the L1. This is how the pass will look like. I told you again and again the pass will show block positivity. So this is how the block positivity will look like. This is block positivity. This is block positivity. And this is picture photomicrograph of L1, L2 and L3. You can see the cytoplasmic vacuole in L3, and you can see the homogeneous appearance of the cells. All the cells are of same size, where in L2 and L3 they are not of homogeneous. Now this is how acid phosphatase, that is positive in TALL, look like, just dot line. And this is diffuse positivity. This is diffuse positivity of PAS, and this is block positivity of PAS. Now these are immunophenotyping. Now you may have short note over what is the good prognosis factor and what
what are the bad prognosis factor of ALS. So these are the good prognosis. You can remember this by only remembering the good prognostic factor. You can remember like a female of age 2 to 8 years, and this is of white in color and and in chromosome hyperdiploid is there, having good prognosis. Mean you just remember this thing and imagine the thing. Now in AML, this is the maturation. How the maturation takes place from myeloblast to band form. This is having the largest size cell, promyelocyte. This is myeloblast. In this photograph, this is myeloblast, this is promyelocyte, and this is meta. In metamyelocyte, there is indentation in the nucleus. Indentation in the nucleus. Now this is myelocyte, but it is of eosinophilic myelocyte. This is basophilic myelocyte, and this is granulocytic myelocyte, and this is blast cell. Now this is how maturation takes place. This is myeloblast, this is promyelocyte. Up to here you can see the nucleoli, but after this stage there is no nucleoli and indentation appear. There is an indentation, and here segmentation appear. So this is from promyelocyte to neutrophil. This is WHO classification of AML. This is FAB classification of AML, and this is further subtyping, like M3 has got hypogranular, M4, M4E0, M5 has got M5A, M5B, M5C, M6A, M6B. Now this is how MPO will look like. Red, brown, precipitate. So these are the hematological finding, clinical picture, laboratory picture, poor prognostic factor in the case of AML. This is good prognostic factor. This is difference between ALL and AML. You may have short note over this also. Gum hypertrophy is the specific feature of M4 and M5. And bleeding tendency, that is bruising, this is feature of M3. And these are the panel, immunophenotyping panel. Primary panel is 1333. By this we know that this is of myeloid lineage, and secondary panel to know that this is of M4. If it is of M4, CD14 and CD64 positive. If it is M5, then if it is M5, for M4 and M5 same thing, and if it is M7, then CD41 and CD61 will be positive, and if it is M6, then glycophorin A will be positive. So this is all about. So this is diagram showing difference between the lymphoblast and myeloblast. This is myeloblast because having 2 to 5 nucleoli, but here only 2 nucleoli. You can see here the nucleus. Just see the nucleus. This is open chromatin. You can see through and through, but this is condensed chromatin. High enunciation. This is all wrong. Seen in myeloblast. So this is all about